This week on One Devotion, learn how one Euroleague player remembers his late legendary teammate. Take a walk down memory lane with 3 stars from a double champion. Go behind the scenes at a storied club in French basketball history. And check out all the drama as the race for the top 16 reaches a climax. Whenever EA7 Milan guard Andrea Cinciarini walks on the basketball court, he carries the memory of a Euroleague legend. When Cinciarini turned pro at age 17, he became teammates with Alfonso, the top average scorer in the Euroleague this century. On a Scavolini Pesaro team with stars like Sasha Djordjevic and Marko Milic, Ford went out of his way to help young players like Cinciarini.
We were so young, so he said, don't problem, you played basketball from 10 years, so you can shot, you can pass the ball, you can make what you want. Don't be scared about me, about Djordjevic, about Milic, so play like you want. This is a really big lesson.
However, even as Ford led Pesaro to the Italian League finals that season, a tragedy was unfolding. Ford was suffering from late-stage leukemia, a secret he had kept even from his teammates.
Nobody knows, only coach and only owner. Nobody knows. And when we know about what he had, is terrible.
When the truth reached Ford's teammates at training camp the next summer, they were devastated. But the worst news came just days later. Ford had passed away. Cinciarini, whom Ford had invited to visit him in the United States that summer, had no chance to say goodbye.
For a national team, for pre-season, we can't go. And then we realized that, and so it's so difficult because I wanna say hi for the last time, but
in their single season together, Ford left a huge impression on Cinciarini, who learned how greatness may be achieved despite terrible adversity.
It was incredible, amazing, like a player, like a man. He smiled a lot, he loved his life, he loved to go out and to talk a lot. So when we know that he was sick, we said that he continued to live like nothing happened.
So as not to forget the lessons he learned from the man whose name now adorns the trophy awarded each season to the Euroleague's top scorer, Cinciarini makes it a point to remember, as he did on social media last September the 4th, the anniversary of Ford's death.
I want that all the people remember that day like the day of a big person, a big player that died. Every time that I go on the court, I remember him.
Cinciarini also remembers the last message from Ford to his friends in European basketball, written shortly before he died.
He wrote a letter to the club and to the fans of Pesaro that he said that unfortunately he was sick and so he can't play that season. He didn't know that some days after he died. He said that his heart is always with us, like fans of player of Pesaro at that time. And he says like, combattete duro is like fight hard. He's really amazing like person.
After CSKA Moscow lifted the Euroleague trophy in 2006 and came very close to repeating as champions the next year, The 2007-2008 season dawned with a rare mix of true hunger to reach the top again and great knowledge of how to get there.
When you win, you forget about the mistakes. Everything's well. You came out on top. But when you lose, you think about those 2 points the whole season. Even now, you go through that motion of replay and what you did wrong, where you could take another title, win another game. And I completely agree with that. You always learn more on mistakes than on good things.
One CSKA player who didn't need to learn from those mistakes was new arrival Ramūnas Ciskauskas, who had starred for the Panathinaikos team that defeated CSKA the previous spring. But Ciskauskas never missed a beat with his new team, as he was voted the Euroleague MVP after his first season in Moscow.
I was on the other side, year before. So in 2007, CSKA was enemies, and we were fighting on the court. Next year, I was on the CSKA side. I would say the best year in my career.
Before it could reach the Final Four, however, CSKA had to overcome a Game 1 home loss in the best-of-3 playoffs at the same time that head coach Ettore Messina was going through a personal tragedy, the unexpected passing of his younger brother.
He told us after top 16 that it was very difficult for him, but in the difficult moments when we lost a home game in Moscow from Olympiacos, and we came in Athens, he put us in one room, he talked to us, and I think he was the main reason that we came back and we qualified, because he was an inspiration for us.
Once the playoff series was won, as CSKA made its way to Madrid, there was no shortage of confidence.
I believe that we were all so confident that we were going to win that it was a problem, that we were maybe even too confident.
That confidence was tested as CSKA trailed its semi-final with Tau Ceramica in the fourth quarter, but seized the scoreboard with a 2-12 run sparked by Teo Papaloukas and David Anderson. In the championship game against Maccabi Tel Aviv, J.R. Holden's three-pointers right after half-time paved the way to an easy CSKA victory and an especially touching moment near the finish.
That coach runs and stays with his family. It's one very emotional moment, but it's one of the moments I remember.
When you do it year by year, day by day, you're trying to be the best, trying to play in the best team in Europe, and when you reach it, it's incredible.
That Messina and Papaloukas were honoured before the final as two of the 50 greatest contributors to the first half-century of European club competitions made the 2008 title that much more special.
It was great. Watching next to you all these great personalities, that some of them is the reason that you played basketball, that you're sitting next to them. So you understand that you're in the right way.
CSKA's right way continued into the next season's final game, which it lost by 2 points again. That left 2008 as the last Euroleague celebration for a unique group of players, including Holden, Schmodis, and that year's Final Four MVP Trajan Langdon, who played in 4 consecutive Continental Championship games.
That was an experienced group of players that came to a point of understanding each other without saying words. Just people working together for one goal, understanding that, giving their maximum every day, and that's how we looked on the court, and that was the final result.
We were blessed, and you realize that when you stop. We had understood, without talking about it, that the most important is to win and go on. So, sometimes it's very difficult to have a lot of great players in one team. This team understood how this can work. This was the biggest thing of this team, that you had 12 soldiers ready to do what they were asked, and they could wait if they were not their turn, somebody else's turn, just to take the right result, and go home happy.
Round 9 delivered some thrilling action. Let's see the best of it. Fenerbahce won at home to Crvena Zvezda, Real Madrid triumphed at Bayern, and Khimki Moscow defeated Strasbourg. Needing a win to secure top place, Fenerbahce withstood an early threat from Crvena Zvezda to deliver a dominant display in Istanbul, sharing around the points in a solid team performance. Strasbourg led much of the way behind Carl Weems, but Khimki accelerated in the fourth quarter as Tyler Honeycutt pulled in a season-high 19 rebounds and Alexei Shved added 23 points to secure a top 16 place. And in Munich, Casey Rivers' long-range shooting gave Bayern a half-time lead, but second-half masterclasses from Sergio Rodriguez and weekly MVP Gustavo Ayllón gave Real Madrid a valuable victory, which puts the race for the top 16 in their own hands. Fenerbahce has sealed top spot, Khimki remains in second, while Madrid, Zvezda and Bayern are tied in third. Anadolu Efes stayed strong at home to Laboral, Olympiacos won at Limoges and EA7 beat Cedevita, but not by enough. In an entertaining game containing several lead changes, Laboral Kucha led for much of the way against Anadolu Efes in Istanbul, but the home team were inspired by former Laboral floor general Thomas Hertel, who finished with 25 points in a comeback victory. Limoges battled hard against Olympiacos, but the ever-reliable Georgios Printezis led the scoring for his team, and another solid defensive performance saw the Reds home. Needing to win by 10 points or more in Zagreb to stay alive, Jamel McLean put EA7 Milan on the right path early on, but Cedevita fought back behind Miro Bilan to seal a top 16 place despite losing on the night. Olympiacos has won the group, Laboral and Efes are tied for second, and Cedevita takes fourth. Žalgiris won in Barcelona, Lokomotiv beat Pinar, and Panathinaikos overpowered Stelmet Zielona Gora. Barcelona headed into round 9 boasting an 11-year winning run against Žalgiris, and 28 points from Ante Tomic led the home team's challenge. But Mantas Kalnietis inspired Žalgiris to a high-scoring performance to secure its first victory over the Spanish side in 14 attempts. In its final home game, Pinar Karsiaka was down by a barrage of triples from Lokomotiv Kuban, notably from Ryan Brekhoff, who tied the season's high with 7 long-range strikes as his team eased home and moved into the group's top spot. And Panathinaikos wasted little time in surging clear of Stelmet Zielona Gora. Nick Kalathis leading the way with a highly effective all-round performance as the Greens secured a top 16 spot. Lokomotiv goes 1 game clear of Barcelona with Žalgiris and Panathinaikos tied for third. Maccabi defeated Bamberg, Unicaja won at Dinamo Sassari, and CSKA stayed strong against Darüşşafaka. At home to Bamberg, Maccabi Fox knew only a victory would be enough to keep its top 16 chances alive, and the Israeli team tied a club record with 16 triples, 6 of them from Sylvain Landersberg, to secure a comfortable winning margin. Despite Maccabi's victory, Darüşşafaka still headed into Friday's game at CSKA Moscow, knowing a win would be enough to advance. But that never looked likely as CSKA took early control and never relaxed, with Nando De Colo shining again. Dinamo Sassari was looking for its first win of the season, but Unicaja Malaga had other ideas, and 20 points from Jamar Smith helped secure a victory which never looked in doubt in the second half. CSKA remains a game ahead of Unicaja, Bamberg is third, and Darushafaqa and Maccabi will battle for fourth.
Hello, my name is Kerem Gönlüm from Pınar Karşıyaka. Now I'm going to teach some Turkish words to my teammate Joe Ragland. You ready, Joe?
Yeah.
First of all, we'll start with good morning. Günaydın.
Günaydın.
Günaydın.
Günaydın. Easy.
This is easy. You want some harder?
Let's go.
İyi akşamlar. Good night.
İyi akşamlar.
Lar.
İyi akşamlar.
Lar.
Lar.
Not lah. Lar. Lar. L-E-R. İyi akşamlar.
İyi akşamlar.
Okay.
It's close. Good enough.
Bon appétit, like afiyet olsun.
Afiyet olsun.
Very good. And görüşürüz. See you later.
Say it again.
Görüşürüz.
Görüşürüz.
Görüşürüz.
Görüşürüz.
Yes, perfect.
Görüşürüz.
I don't know. Bilmiyorum.
Bil.
B-I-L. Bilmiyorum.
Build me a room. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, bilmiyorum.
Build me a room.
Yes, not like room. Yeah, bilmiyorum. Sizi seviyorum. I love you.
How you say?
Sizi
Sizi
seviyorum.
seviyorum.
Yes.
Sizi
To our fans.
seviyorum.
Yes.
Sizi
Sizi seviyorum.
Sizi.
Seviyorum.
Sizi seviyorum.
Yes.
Sizi seviyorum.
Yes, perfect. And that's all for today. Thank you.
Bonjour et bienvenue au Limoges CSP. Welcome in the Limoges CSP.
Of the 20 European cities that have been home to 57 continental champions over the years, the third smallest, with a population of just 140,000, is Limoges, France. When it comes to basketball devotion, size does not matter in the case of Limoges CSP, whose basketball story started nearly a century ago and whose president, Frédéric Fort, is proud to be a part of it.
The club was born in 1929. Around the church of Limoges was named Saint-Pierre. That's why the name of the club is Limoges CSP. CSP means Cercle Saint-Pierre, the name of the church. At that time, the priest of the church decided to make some sport and create the club.
Limoges did not reach the French elite until the late 1970s, but quickly made up for lost time, as proven by the 27 banners hanging from the roof of the Beau-Blanc Arena, one for each of the club's trophies in the last 35 years. The most special of them all is the 1993 Euroleague title, marking the only time a French club has been king of the continent. Fort was a member of that team, which went to the Final Four in Athens as an underdog, only to beat Real Madrid soundly in the semi-finals before rallying past Benetton Treviso by 59-55 for the title.
That game we are the small team against the huge Benetton, and everybody write the article of the big win of Benetton before the game. What is completely normal when we see the teams they had with Tony Kukoc, last game in Europe, Terry Tigol, Stefano Visconi, Milan Jacopini, and plus or less all the Italian national team. When at the end of the game, for a French team, it was the first time in the history of basketball that we became European champions. It was something great. Great in Athens, great when we come back in Limoges because all the city was waiting for us. Moreover than the game and the remind we have of the game is all the memories we have from what's happened in the city after with something great.
The club has made sure to honour its past and its legends by wearing throwback yellow uniforms for Turkish Airlines Euroleague home games last season and by retiring the jersey of 1993 star Richard Dacoury, who spent 18 seasons with Limoges.
Nobody now can wear the number 7, and maybe in the future we'll take off some other jersey from people who make the history of the club.
Fort returned to the club overnight in 2004 when Limoges CSP ran out of money and needed saving. Still a player with Italian team Avellino at the time, Fort dropped everything to go home, buy the club and become its president.
2 months before, you play against all the best teams in France, and you start to play against team sub-division that nobody knows, that you don't know the player, you don't know the feeling, and for our fans it was very, very, very difficult. In the same time, we took our time. We restart to build the club, step by step, stone by stone.
Exactly 10 years later, Limoges was holding the French League trophy again and returning to the Turkish Airlines Euroleague. With its future now bright, Limoges' plans are huge and involve the building of a new, modern arena.
The gym is full every game. We have a big project with the mayor of the city to build something big, a new gym, around 10,000 people. And that's the best thing we can hope for French basketball, to have a big gym in the future here and restart our history, come back in the main competition and prove that we really can play. Thanks a lot. I hope to see you soon in Limoges. Bye-bye. Au revoir.
With its season on the line, defending Euroleague champion Real Madrid found a go-to leader in centre Gustavo Ayllón, who put up career-high numbers to keep his team alive and become the MVP of round 9 of the Turkish Airlines Euroleague regular season on Friday. The second-year big man posted a career-high 22 points on near-perfect shooting of 8-4-10 on 2-pointers and 6 of 7 free throws. He also did it all on defence, recording the most steals by any Euroleague player this season, 6, and blocking 3 shots. Add in his 9 rebounds and 4 assists, and Ayllón's performance index rating climbed to 41, his personal high and the second best of the season in the competition.
Number 5, Athens, Greece. Great team play from Panathinaikos, Nick Kalatis to Miroslav Raduljica and James Gitt. He's not going to miss from there. Beautifully worked to give him the opening. No look pass from Raduljica. Before Moscow, Russia, the game just 4.5 minutes old. Kyle Hines makes his 4th block to deny Semi Erden. Great block. Number 3, Limoges, France. Time running out. End of the first half. Heiko Shafatzik. Incredible half-court buzzer beater for Limoges. And straight down into the locker room. No time for anything else. Heiko Shafatzik somehow meeting the buzzer. Number 2, Tel Aviv, Israel. Early on against Maccabi. Rosa Baskets, Bamberg with possession, and Bradley Wanamaker makes a nice move to beat the first man and then rises over the second. Incredible dunk. Number 1, Munich, Germany. Sensational second half from Real Madrid. Here's Sergio Rodriguez looking for a way through. Incredible pass. Ayllón and Jeffrey Taylor finishes. So quick, we need to see a replay. Sergio Rodriguez behind the back. Ayllón helps it on, and Jeffrey Taylor finishes.
The regular season comes to a close in round 10 with a number of issues still to be settled, including a make-or-break game of the week. In Group A, Real Madrid and the explosive Jeffrey Taylor go head-to-head in the Spanish capital with Strasbourg and the speedy Roddy Bourbois, with both teams knowing only the winner can advance to the top 16. Also in super tight Group A, Bayern Munich travels to Cervena Zvezda and Khimki Moscow hosts Fenerbahce. In Group B, 2 qualified teams play for bragging rights ahead of the top 16 as Olympiacos Piraeus and Daniel Hackett welcome ambitious Anadolu Efes and one of their former players, Bryant Dunstan. Elsewhere in Group B, Cedevita Zagreb travels to Laboral Cucha and EA7 Milan finishes its campaign at home to Limoges. At the top of Group C, first place will be decided as FC Barcelona and floor general Carlos Arroyo journey to Russia to face Lokomotiv Kuban and October's monthly MVP Malcolm Delaney. And Žalgiris Kaunas welcomes Panathinaikos for a clash of greens, while Stelmiec Zielona Gora hosts Pinar Karsiaka. And Game of the Week comes from Istanbul in Group D, where the final top 16 spot will be decided as Maccabi Fox and Devin Smith go in search of the win they need against host Darüşşafaka Doğuş and the experienced Emir Predzic. Also in Group D, Unicaja welcomes CSKA Moscow to Malaga and Dinamo Sassari finishes its campaign at Brose Baskets Bamberg. Drama is heading our way in the final round of the regular season.